here refers to the number of students who scored less than or equals to, who scored less than or equals to this. Yes. Okay, less than or equals to 55 marks. Alright, but the question now wants more than, okay, and furthermore they want a percentage. So in order to find more than, how do we do that? Okay, what minus what in this case? 120 or 130?
120.
Okay, yes. So take note, the curve actually ends over here. So the highest frequency, total frequency is 120. Okay, or else you can read from the information given right at the top. It says that there are 120 students. So don't be misled by the things found in the y-axis. Okay, don't always think that the highest number will be the highest frequency. So in this case, number of students who scored more than 55, that would be 120 minus 102. So that will be 18 students. So the required percentage that will be 18 out of the total 120 times 100%. So therefore it is 15%. And then in part 3, okay, this is something that we have to do in reverse. We want to find the value of T such that 90% of the students scored T marks or less. So we want to find, okay, the exact mark itself. So 90% of the students scored T marks or less. Okay, so we find out how many students are actually falling under this criteria. So 90% out of 120 students, that would actually be 108 students. Okay, so 108 students scored T marks or less. Since the question has already talked about marks or less, okay, we'll look for 108, which is here. Go to the graph and then read downwards. So the value of T would be equals to 60. Okay, you need not go and write you don't need to actually write an explanation telling me, oh, I read from the graph from here to here, then after that tell me T equals 60. No need. Alright, you just make sure you can read the graph carefully and give me the value to be 60. Alright? Any questions? Is this simple enough? Is this a good enough break from your A Maths? Okay? I hope this is a good enough break. Yeah. Don't need. I don't need you to do a drawing on the graph. That one I don't bother how you draw and how you write the graph. Okay. Okay. Next, look at example 2. I hope that it has been photocopied well enough for you to read it. I tried to darken it already. Okay, so in this case, this is a less than cumulative frequency curve. You really don't need to bother yourself, okay, about whether the curve is a less than cumulative frequency or is it a less than or equals to. Okay, the question should, okay, definitely have proper matching, okay, to the context of the question. Alright? So in this case, there are 120 apples. Then after that, in part 1, you want to estimate from the curve the number of apples having masses less than 98 grams. Okay, the reason why is it that the instruction word, even if you look at example 1, okay, they use the instruction word estimate, right? They are just putting it there because there is possibility whereby the curve might not give you exact, okay, clear reading. Okay, but usually we will try to give you a clear enough answer rather than to have that kind of range of possibilities. So in this case, less than 98 grams, how many apples would that be? 21? 48, right? So 98 grams, that will be here, right? So read to here, you should get about 48. Okay, I don't think it will come out very well on the visualizer. Okay, 48 apples.
I think it's more like 46, 44.
Maybe, I mean, this is extracted from your textbook lah. Okay, so you can refer to your textbook for a clearer diagram. And in fact, the answers will be consistent with your textbook's answers as well. Okay, part 2, we want to estimate from the curve the fraction of the total number of apples having masses 117 grams or more. How do we find it? 117 grams or more. How many apples will actually fall under this criteria?
400 is
How many apples will be 117 grams or more? Maybe how many apples? Sorry? 108. I read the question again. I want to find the number of apples that have masses 117 grams or more.
120 minus 108 over 120 times.
Sorry? 12? How do you get 12? What's the reading that you get from your graph?
Sure, I get 16.
Yeah, I also got 16. Yeah. Maybe you maybe the diagram wasn't printed very clearly. Okay, that will actually by right is 120 minus 104 lah. Okay, so that will be 16, right? We try reading again. Okay, because halfway is 115, right? So every half a small square will be 1 apple, right? Okay, so read carefully. So the required fraction will be 16 over 120, so 2 over 15 of the apples have masses 117 grams or more. And then lastly, part 3, we want to find the value of K given that 20% of the apples have masses K grams or more. So we will need to first find out how many apples that is. So 20% out of 120, that will be 24 apples. Okay, so 24 apples have masses K grams or more. Okay, so since the reading over here is for less than or equal, less than only, okay, we will need to find the reverse. So 120 minus 24, that will give you 96 apples that have masses less than K grams. Okay, only when you find the reverse 96, then you can go and read the graph. Okay, for 96, somewhere here, 80, 4, 6, 90, somewhere here, right? Okay, then you read off, you will get K equals to 114. Any questions? example 3, alright. Okay, complete the following cumulative frequency table. Okay, can you do that now? Complete this table. Okay, part B, so that's why in your textbook they actually ask you to draw, but I don't need you to actually draw it, so I have already provided you the diagram. Okay, I just want to make use of the question to run through how to actually do it, right? So this is the diagram that we have. Okay, in C part 1, we want to estimate the number of cows that produce less than or equals to 9.4 liters of milk. Okay, so what would that answer be? How many cows produce less than or equals to 9.4 liters of milk? How many cows would that be? Shaolun, how many cows produce less than or equals to 9.4 liters of milk?
50.
50. Any other alternative answers from the rest? 49. Okay, so 49 or 50 would be acceptable answers. Okay, so this is a situation whereby that's why the question would leave the instruction word as estimate.
Which one
Okay.
better?
Both are acceptable. I think I got 49. 9.4. 24.
But it's closer to the line though.
It is subjected to how you see it. Okay? So part 2, right, we want to find the fraction of the 70 cows that produce more than 7.4 liters of milk. So how many cows produce less than or equals to 7.4 liters?
7.4.
How many cows produce less than or equals to 7.4?
29.
29, right? Okay, so to find out more than, we will need to take 70 minus away 29. Okay, so the required fraction 70 minus 29 over 70. So we get 41 over 70. But some of you might have seen it as 30, which is also fine. And then you get answer 4 over 7. I will accept that as well. Okay. I'll just run through the last one. The value of X if 70% of the cows produce more than X liters of milk. So we need to first find out how many cows that would be. So that is 49 cows. And since 49 cows produce more than X liters, okay, we need to find the reverse, which is 70 minus 49. 21 cows produce less than or equals to X liters. Okay, so therefore, reading from your graph, you will find that X is equals to 6.4. Okay, sorry that I exceeded. Alright, I'll end off here for today. Tomorrow we will continue. By the way, exercise 15.4, I've already put up the homework over there. Could it be due on Wednesday? Exercise 15.4 due on Wednesday.
Will we miss lessons?
Why 12 you miss lesson. Oh, no. Your go off at 12. My lesson is before 12.
Oh yeah. Go
Too bad.
yeah.
Okay, we need to support watching, right?
Yeah.
Correct, right? No sim, right?
Of course lah.
Still